So this is going to be working some examples from R4 polynomials. So this is unit 1. R again stands for review. So this is some material that you're already probably familiar with. So this is going to go with question 3 in your homework. So this is going to be in your MyLab math. So in the given expression, calculate as indicated. Express your answer as a single polynomial in standard form. So some things to be familiar with is, first off, is a term. So terms, for example, this 9x to the fifth would be considered a term. The number in front, so the number in front, we're going to call that a coefficient. So this 9 is called a coefficient. And then the variable is the x. And the 9 is connected to the variable by multiplication. And the 5 goes with the x. So the exponent of the variable is also going to be called the degree of the term. So this 9x to the fifth would be a term, and its degree would be a 5. We have this 5x to the third would be a term, and the 5 is the coefficient, and the 3 would be considered the exponent or the degree of that term. And then we have this 8x. 8 would be called the coefficient. X is the variable, and its exponent would be 1 since there's only one x present. So that's one of the things we need to be familiar with, is this word terms. A polynomial is terms joined together by addition or subtraction. So notice how we actually have two polynomials here. In parentheses, this 9x to the fifth plus 5x cubed plus 8x is one polynomial. And we're adding to that a second polynomial, which would be 2x to the fourth minus 8x cubed plus 9x squared would be the second polynomial. So the degree of the polynomial is going to be the highest degree term. So it's going to represent the degree of the polynomial. So if you look at this first polynomial, the degree of the first term is a 5, the degree of the second term is a 3, the degree of the third term is a 1. Since the highest degree was 5, the degree of this polynomial is going to be 5. If I look at the second polynomial, the degree of the first term is a 4, the degree of the second term is 3, and degree of the third term is 2. So degree of this polynomial is 4. So then we have what's called like terms. Like terms have the same variable raised to the same exponent. And then we have combining like terms. Remember, when we combine like terms, we only combine the coefficients. The variable part does not change. So when we add these two polynomials together, these parentheses are just telling me that I have these two polynomials. Since we're combining them, we're going to drop the parentheses and combine them together. So I'll write this as 9x to the fifth plus 5x cubed plus 8x. And we're going to add to that this 2x to the fourth minus this 8x to the third plus this 9x squared. Now, it does say standard form. So standard form means to go from the largest degree to the smallest degree. So if we look at this problem right here, we have this 9x to the fifth. So I'm going to use the circle method. And then do we have a 2x to the fifth anywhere? Or do we have any other x to the fifths anywhere? So I don't. So that term is just going to come down as the first term, 9x to the fifth. So the next thing we do is look for, and so we're done with this guy. So then I look for the next degree term is a 4. Notice that there is a positive 2x to the fourth, but I don't see any other ones. So since it's a positive 2x to the fourth, it's going to come down as a plus 2x to the fourth. So that's that term. So that's when I do terms, I include the operation with it. That kind of helps me identify its sign. So we're kind of done with that one. So now we're down to the x cubed. So notice how there is a 5x to the third, a positive 5x to the third, and there is a negative 8x to the third. So those are like terms. So what I can do is add those coefficients together. So I can go 5 plus negative 8 on the calculator, or I can just simply say 5 minus 8. So remember, if you have 5 and lose 8, you're going to be down 3. So it's going to be a negative 3. So what I do is I bring down a minus 3x to the third becomes that term. So now we're done with the cubes. Our next thing to look for is we have the 9x squared. There's not any other 9x squared, so it's just going to come down as a positive 9x squared. So we're done with that term. And then all we have left is this 8x. And since it doesn't have anything to go with either, it just comes down as a positive 8x. And there's not a constant, so that's as far as we go. So that would be combining like terms.